What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, your girl is here and excited to do just a roundup of all of the items, cheek, lip, basically anything that's not eyeshadow that I have tested out in the last couple of months. Typically what I have done is I will just get a collection. I now have a new fancy the second time I've dropped that particular product. And sis is still hanging on. For that reason alone, that's a bomb product. Okay. So anyways, basically what I'll do is I'll wait till I can collect enough products. I have a weird organization system, but it works for me. And then once I start to see this basket overflowing, that's when I know, sis, you need to stop and review everything. So I'm just going to get myself a little bit more organized, and then we're just going to go right into reviewing all of these products. I'm going to tell you if I think it's worth it, if it's not, etc., etc. I will have all of the videos associated with these products linked down below, and I will do my absolute best, if at all possible, to also link all of the products as well. So definitely check out my description box. I would appreciate it if you shop through those links. That gives me a little something, and it shows me that you appreciate me reviewing these products. And yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to start off with some of the oddball out products, and then we'll dive into some of the products that I have multiple of. I only have one foundation to review this time around, and it is the Yensa Bc Foundation. This is their full coverage foundation, and it does have an SPF 40. Now, first off, I loved this product originally, and I still love this product. I think this is a fantastic product in general. The coverage, the shade, all of it. And if you're wondering, I have it in deep warm. I think it just works just enough for me, although if it was any more warmer, I don't think I could be able to kind of offset it with my powder and my concealer. The coverage is perfect. I don't think it's a full-on full coverage like in the Western world full coverage, but maybe in more Asian markets this is full coverage. Either way, to me, I would say this is more about medium coverage. Perfect for me. I do prefer medium coverage, and I don't find that this is like a heavy feeling foundation. One thing that I've been really doing well, I feel like in these last couple of years, is really getting through those foundations that I just feel heavy and I can just feel it on my skin. That's just not something that I feel I want to have, nor do I need it. So this is definitely a splurge, and I would definitely recommend this product. I would say though, wait until this is half off, and then that's when I would really pick her up. Next, this is actually a more so recent purchase for me, and this was from Supergoop. I picked up the lip balm, and this one happened to have acai in it. This is SPF 30. So I picked this up because I've been really trying to do better with treating my body nicely, right? I'm getting older. I am almost to the age of 30, which I feel like a lot of people say is like the age where your body goes down. So I am trying my best in these last couple of years in my 20s to really just keep my body maintained so that once it does dive, it won't dive so badly, if that makes any sense. So basically, I picked this up to protect my lips from the sun. Now, I'm not outside very often, and because of health issues, I have not even been working out outside anymore. And so this isn't something that is a must-have for me, but again, it's just something that I wanted to do to protect myself. Regardless, I don't like the taste. It doesn't necessarily, I'm not like licking my lips, but when you apply a lip balm, right, you can like taste the new product on your lips. Hopefully I'm not the only person. And then of course, maybe throughout the day or throughout the time it's on your lips, you can just taste it. I don't like the taste of this on my lips at all. And I don't feel that it lasts on my lips long term enough for me to think that it really does well. So I'm gonna do my best to get through this. If not, maybe I'll torture a family member and give it to them. But I can't. So an eyeshadow base that I finally got around to reviewing from Give Me Glow, and this is their primer in outline. So recently I was on the Give Me Glow website, and it looks like they actually kind of discontinued this whole range. From what I could tell, it was all on sale. Who knows? But regardless, I have this shade, like I said, in outline, and I actually like it. I think it's a really nice primer. I think it's a really nice shade overall. I wouldn't necessarily say that I think using this product allows my shadows to apply darker, which is more or less the point of a black eyeshadow base, but I think the actual formulation is nice. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I do like it, but is it a must-have? No. So this is kind of in the middle ground when it comes to whether I would recommend it or not. Something that I definitely would recommend is the second shade that I now have in the Merit Day Glow in the shade Citrine. They did send this to me in exchange for a review on Sephora. I did the review and I still feel the same way. This is a really nice product. It is one of my favorite formulations when it comes to cream or liquid form highlighter in general. It's just a really nice product. You can put it on nicely or just tap it onto your skin and it's just a nice everyday glow. In a couple of months, I think this will definitely be something that I'm reaching for literally every day, and we'll dive into those reasons in a couple of months. 3 more kind of random-ish products. I have another primer for you all. This one happens to be from Clarity Cosmetics, and this is their Stick to It Foiled Eyeshadow Glitter Primer. Now, I picked this up because I wanted an actual glitter eyeshadow primer, more so to replace my NYX glitter glue, which I did finish, but I did want more of an indie version of it. I don't think that this works the best when it comes to a glitter eyeshadow formula. I think this works better just under normal eyeshadow, so just as a normal eyeshadow base, and that's how I'm going to use it. It is a clear base, which means that you're not going to really clear out your veins of your eyes or anything like that. So if that is an issue or a concern of yours, I wouldn't recommend this eyeshadow primer, period. But for me, I already bought it and I do want to get my use out of it. So I am just going to use it as a normal eyeshadow primer base in addition to kind of these other ones that I've been slowly testing out lately. So kudos on them for that. But I definitely don't think it does anything to kind of enhance shimmer eyeshadows. I just don't think that step is worth it with that particular primer. 2 more Merit Beauty products, and these again were sent to me. This first one is the volumizing pomade in the shade Brown. Now this is, as it says, a volumizing pomade, so you can just blend up your brows. I don't think this is the best. I would not recommend this. I don't find that my brow hairs are really forced to stay up for a long period of time. That said, I am going to get my use out of it, and I think this is perfect for the brand's aesthetic, which is very much minimalistic everyday makeup. And maybe when I'm wearing makeup more every day, which I think I will be in the next couple of months, this will be something that I reach for more then. But right now, this is definitely not something that I think I will get a lot of use out of, or have been getting a lot of use out of in the moments where I'm putting makeup on for YouTube or just for me personally every day when I'm not working. This is just not the product for me. So yeah, once again, Brown from Merit Beauty, and they did send that to me. And lastly from Merit Beauty is actually their mascara. I think this is a fine mascara, but it does not really give me a lot of volume or even a lot of length. I think this is just one of those mascaras that's just going to coat your lashes and make them look slightly better. It's nothing compared to my Maybelline. It's nothing compared to Lancome Teint Idole. Like, it's just, or Monsieur Big, not Teint Idole, Monsieur Big. So for me, it's just not going to really beat out all of these other mascaras that I really enjoy and will pay full price for. So this one is an easy pass, but like I said, it's decent. If it's something that you just want you just want to darken up your lashes, that will definitely do it for you. But it just doesn't do enough for my particular lashes. I have 3 eyeliners that I want to talk about, and 2 are from the same brand. So let's start off with those. And these are from Odin's Eye. These are from their most recent collection, and I did already do a video on it, and I will have that down below. In that video, you see swatches, all of that. I give you guys full details. I have the 2 shades in 006 and 011. So basically exactly what I said in that video holds true still to this day. These are okay liners if you are willing to clean out your waterline first. If that is not a normal step in your routine or not something that you want to do, do not pick these up. It's not worth it. They're dry, which is good for long term, but to get them on your eye, it doesn't work. It does not work. The other liner I picked up was actually from Patrick Ta. This one just got lost in the sauce, or I would have reviewed it earlier. And this one is in the shade Burgundy. So I picked this up when I picked up his eyeshadow palette because a lot of people were raving about his formulation. And I decided, let's try it. I don't think this formulation is anything to write home about. Granted, I do have very inhospitable waterline. My waterline pretty much eats up every liner that I put down there. It really doesn't do well with anything. The only liner that I found that actually stays in my waterline for a long period of time is actually the Inglot gel pots, but I just don't have the time or the patience anymore to actually use those consecutively and consistently every day or every time I put on makeup. So they kind of just sit around, but that's why I keep them, because they actually stay in my waterline. This I don't find does. I find that it does like this weird thing. You guys know, like, your waterline is the actual part in the water, right? And then sometimes you can have that like hint on the outside edge that makes it look like it's lasting. That's what happens with me towards the end of the day using this. It wears off in the actual waterline, and that little hint on the outside that is more outside facing of the eye is where I can still see this product. And for me, that means that it did not do what I wanted it to do. So that's an easy pass. What I will say though, positive wise with those two formulas, is that they don't leave like a weird film on my eyes when I wash my face off, so that the next day it's like groggy to like literally see. I don't have that problem with these two liners, and I have had that problem in the past. So kudos to them for that. Okay, now I have 4 lip product formulations, one from a different brands. So the first one I want to talk about is from Natasha Denona. So I haven't tried her bullet lipstick formula yet. Previously, I think the only thing I've tried from Natasha Denona has been maybe a cheek product or two, and then her eyeshadows. So this was new for me. And this is in the shade Sammy, and this is from her line of I Need a Nude. So what I enjoy about this is the formulation, and I enjoy the shade. The disappointment slight in this is the fact that this is slightly more peachy or pinky than I expected. Not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. I definitely have been enjoying this, and I can't wait to actually put this in my collection so I can get even more use out of it, because once things get put into this basket I kind of forget sometimes. But you know, it's not the perfect nude. You know, it's a beautiful shade, don't get me wrong, and I will get use out of it, but it's not the perfect nude for me. Formula wise though, fantastic, highly recommend. It's a nice creamy lipstick, and so you kind of get the best of both worlds, in my opinion. So I definitely enjoy that. Next is the Fenty lipstick formula, you know, in this interesting compact. I have it in the shade She's a CEO, and this of course is just a brownie nudie shade. Now I wish that this brown was a couple of shades lighter. That would have just made it perfect for me. That said, still a beautiful shade. I still enjoy this shade. I think that this formula is reminiscent of this in the sense that they are kind of similar, although I feel the I Need a Nude has more of a sheen, and this one is definitely more matte. Both good, both full coverage, although I need to do a couple more swipes of this one to get full opacity, this one a few less. But I enjoy both formulas, but it kind of depends on what you want to see, like which one you'll get. Also remember that this one you have to buy the actual case and the refills separately, which is extremely annoying if you know you only wanted one bullet lipstick. It would have been nice if you could buy this one and then just buy the refills separately to only have to buy one case. You get me? So yeah. Okay. Next, I bought a Rowan lip gloss from Boxycharm, the 1 month that they let me order from them. Since then, they haven't let me order again because I did not subscribe, but I just don't want to subscribe. I buy enough makeup. I don't need to buy a makeup subscription box. So anyways, this is in the shade Charlie. I think this is a really nice shade. It doesn't give full opacity, but it gives a nice sheen and a nice tint to the lips that you can use this by itself over a lip liner, and or over like a full-on lip product, which I have done, where I've used this lip stick and then put this on top. I think that's actually how I showed you guys the products in the first place. So really nice, and I think that this is a nice thin formula. It's definitely not sticky, which makes it very comfortable to wear, and long term I definitely could see me picking up more, although I don't have access to Boxycharm and I refuse to pay full price now because I've already bought it for $5. So there's that. And then the last lip product is from Haus Labs. So this is a brand that I had a couple of wins and a couple of losses, right? This was definitely a win. I absolutely loved this product, still do. I am slightly disappointed with the shade. So this is in Mocha Matte. This definitely pulls a lot rosier pink on my complexion than I was expecting, but the shade and the formula is fantastic. So much so that it had me going on the website Sephora looking to see if there was any other shades that I coulda, shoulda, woulda picked up and worn. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but that's because I've been trying so many things that I want to see how long it takes me to kind of get through that. Maybe even see if I can get through something else before I pick up yet another lip product. Okay, now let's get into blushes. I have 3 blushes, 2 different formulas. Well, actually, I guess 2 different brands, 3 different formulas to talk about. So let's start off with the easiest one. And this is the Sigma Beauty Blush in Bronze Star. For my complexion, this is not the best blush. This definitely is the darkest, which is why I picked her up. And I thought this would be the one that would actually work on me. I don't think it does what I truly want. You definitely get that sheen from the finish, which is definitely more of a sheeny kind of shimmery finish, but I don't get a lot of color. And for me, I really love to add blush, to add color. You guys know my cheek products are, I do love cheeks, okay? And so this just isn't the best from this range. That said, there are some positives for this range, and I think people of lighter complexion can really get more use out of this range. But for me, that particular shade, it just ain't it. Then I have my 2 Odin's eye blushes. Now, I don't distinctly remember which blush I was leaning towards when I did the video. I know I showcased both, but I just genuinely don't remember. And so let's showcase them again. This one is Orange Sunny and this one is Peach Gleam. I've definitely leaned more towards Peach Gleam since. I just enjoy the finish a little bit better. It does have some shimmers running throughout it, so you get like a light sheen to the skin. I also just enjoy the shade better. It's a little bit more warmer in tone and a little bit more peachy, and that's just kind of the vibes that I particularly enjoy the most over this one. Don't get me wrong, this is still a good shade, still a good formula, but I would more so recommend this more sheeny formula than the more matte formula. So yeah, if you want to see swatches, all of that, once again, definitely highly recommend checking out that video. I went fully in depth. It took a lot of time, and so yeah, I say just check out that video and it will be linked down below. Next, we have highlighters. So I have 3 different highlighters, 3 different formulas, 3 different brands. So let's get into it. First, let's go ahead and start off with the Sigma Beauty highlighter. This is in the shade Golden Hour. Now, I have a story for you all when it comes to this highlighter. I actually got a compliment from a coworker that I don't think actually wears makeup, and don't get me wrong, she compliments me on my makeup here and there, but this is the first time I've been complimented specifically on my highlighter. She actually pointed out that she enjoyed my highlighter, and I told her I was going to talk about that story in this video. So this is a really nice formula, extremely smooth, lit within, but with a very nice metallic sheeny finish to it. I absolutely adore this formula. If anything, this would definitely be kind of my first choice through the 3 cheek products from Sigma Beauty in their most recent launch. And who knows, I may try and get another shade of this. This is just a really nice formula. It's very reminiscent of, what formula do I want to say? I don't want to necessarily say Ofra. I do. I want to say it's low-key very reminiscent of Ofra, because Ofra can have that more metallic finish, but they also have that like soft to it. I don't really know how to explain it, but this is a fantastic highlighter. And just off rip, the fact that my coworker complimented me, I knew I was gonna want to use this more. And it was just nice. It was nice to see a compliment from her and then also me enjoy the product as well. Next we have from Haus Labs, the highlighter that I picked up, and I got this in the shade Fire Opal. Now what I love about this product is the shade. The shade is beautiful. It's like this orangey reddy highlighter goodness, right? And in my first impressions, I wasn't really feeling it. I did not think it was worth the money because it really wasn't giving me what I wanted. It wasn't giving it, okay? After I broke the seal. So I definitely think you need to really wear this product down. And if you're wondering, one of my favorite brushes to use with this particular product, because it is more of a baked gelée formulation, is the Sigma Beauty FO3 brush. So that is definitely something that I would say I would highly recommend with this product if you really want to try this product. Otherwise, I just don't think you'll be able to break this product down and also pick it up in the best possible manner. But I promise you, after I broke that seal, this thing showed out. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I definitely think it's worth the money now. You just have to get through that. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to say, but didn't have the words to say. This is like a creamy baked gelée, you know? Whereas this one is like a harder baked gelée. The Sigma is just more of a smooth metallic baked gelée, and this one is a little bit more shimmery. So you're going to see a little bit more shimmery flakes going on with this one once you blend her in, whereas the Sigma one is more of a metallic kind of smooth finish. Both beautiful. I wear them both, but in different mindsets and in different times. The last highlighter that I have to review for you all is from the Clionadh Cosmetics and Emily Violet Marie collaboration. I got this in the shade Tropico, right? Yeah, Tropico. I love this highlighter formula. The formula is beautiful. The shade is beautiful. Highly recommend. It gives you this peachy pink kind of goldish situation. I think it is beautiful. I believe this isn't even the shade that they recommended to darker complexions. I believe this was the more lighter complexion one, and I did say I was going to go back and pick up the second one. I just haven't. I haven't. There's been a lot going on and I just haven't done it yet, but I may still do it. It's a really fantastic formula, and if you were interested in it, I would check that out. Also, do know that I did do a full-on review on that one, and you can get a very similar finish and also formulation from this highlighter in the actual palette. So if you only have the money for the palette, or you only want to pick up one product from the collection, I actually would recommend you pick up the palette, because then you kind of get the best of all the worlds, you know? Okay. Last but certainly not least is of course bronzer. You guys know me and bronzer are like this. So yeah, let's start off with the powder bronzers first, and then we'll go into the creams because I got some updates with those creams. Okay, so the powder bronzer that I want to start off first is the Sigma Beauty Matte Bronzer in Deep. This was the only shade that would work for me, and although it is a nice shade, it's not the perfect undertone for me. And I will say I don't tend to gravitate towards matte bronzers in my personal life, right? So I definitely prefer a little bit more of a sheen, a little bit more life-like finish, and you just don't typically get that matte bronzers. That said, with this particular product, I do think it has a little bit more life in it than like a more traditional matte powder. Once again, I just think that these powders have like a creamy element to them that just have them give like more of a skin-like finish ultimately. And so if you are somebody who likes to do kind of everyday effortless looking makeup, I would honestly recommend checking out the Sigma Beauty cheek products. But you know, I wouldn't, for somebody of my complexion or deeper, definitely don't do the blushes, but the highlighter and the bronzers, you're definitely going to get that everyday kind of finish. Whether it's the perfect shade and undertone and all that jazz, you know, it's up for discussion. And I will have my video link down below with those products in case you were wondering. And I also always have my foundation matches down in the description box so that you can help match yourself in comparison to me. The other powder matte bronzer that I have is also from Haus Labs, and this is in the shade Deep Level 11. This was the shade, and I actually still have the broken one. I just don't know what to do with her, so she's just sitting here. But this is the new one that they sent to replace it, and it is beautiful. Beautiful. I am so happy that I got a replacement of this product and I was able to really fully test it in like its actual casing or whatever. Beautiful. The finish is outstanding, and this is a true Beige Chalet, so it definitely does give you a nice sheen, like healthy finish to the skin that I truly enjoy. I can't wait to really bust into this and like really low-key try to hit pan. I would caution you though, because this one feels a little bit more even creamier than I would say the highlighter is, you could potentially get some hard pan with this if you don't make sure that your brushes are clean. And I am guilty, okay? When it comes to my bronzer brushes, I am never one to clean them as quickly as I maybe coulda, shoulda, woulda, because there's certain brushes that I just love with certain formulas, and so I will just wear that brush in the ground when I am really working on a particular bronzer at that moment. So I do just want to caution you that you could potentially get some hard pan with this product, but I think it would be absolutely worth it to get rid of the hard pan ultimately. Okay, so I did pick up the Lys Cream Bronzer, and funny enough, I actually have two shades of this, but I am not ready to review the second shade because I literally haven't even tried it. So the shade that I am ready to review is the shade Courage. Why am I swatching this? I haven't swatched anything else this whole video. Anyways, this is in the shade Courage. Like I said, I do have the shade darker than that, but this didn't work for me as a bronzer. I think I might be able to pull this off still nonetheless, and I'm gonna try and finesse around. I may use it as like a deeper foundation shade on the outer perimeter of my face towards the summer if I actually get any form of a tan. It doesn't look like I'm going to, but I may, and then this will come perfectly in handy. I think this could be a beautiful cream stick foundation formula if they literally just release the range. So yeah, anyways, really happy for that. And then the second to last product that I want to talk about is the Nars Laguna bronzer in the shade 04. So this is actually not even the deepest shade. There is one deeper cream bronzer shade, and I just decided to go with this one because I like the undertone better. I do prefer more warmer, reddier, orangier undertone, whereas the other one looked to be a little bit too cool toned for my complexion. This is a really nice bronzer, really nice. This is very reminiscent to me of my ABH bronzer, which my ABH bronzer is darker, but the formulas are very reminiscent. This is the ABH, this is the Nars. What I will say is I prefer the undertone of my ABH and just the color in general to this one, but this is a fantastic formula, don't get me wrong. Really nice formula. I'm very happy that Nars once again has provided a bronzer that is dark enough to work on my complexion, because sometimes they can forget about dark skin beauties. But very happy with that product. But if you're looking between the two, because they have, like I said, very similar formulas, I would just go for this. And if you're wondering, I have the ABH bronzer and Hazelnut. I just love this shade in the undertone. You can see I am enjoying it. You can see the dent, right? I'm wearing this today, by the way. Really, I love that product. So last but certainly not least is the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzers. So originally I picked up the shade 3 Tan, and I picked this up because of Amber Pollock. She did a video and she was showcasing all these bronzers, and she made it seem like this was the shade for us. She's very similar skin tone to me, if not maybe a shade or two lighter. I just genuinely can't remember off the top of my head. So then after doing a video with tan and seeing how close to my actual skin tone it was, I was like, maybe 4 is the perfect. 4 is too deep. 4 is too deep. This is more of a contour-y shade for my skin tone, and I no longer appreciate that type of bronzer. So definitely 3 was the right shade for me. I should have trusted her. She spent her money, so I didn't have to. And what did I do? I still spent my money. And the worst part about the situation is I bought this as a duo with another Charlotte Tilbury product, and they ended up canceling the second product. So please listen to me, be smarter than me. Do not get 04, get 03. And because I haven't done a video with 04 yet, give me a second. I'm actually going to do swatches, and I think these will actually be helpful because I have not swatched these products. Okay, so 03 and 04. Okay, so this is 03 and this is 04. Now don't get me wrong, this is 03 and this is 04. 04 definitely is a bronzer. It's definitely a warmer undertone, but because it's so many shades darker than my actual complexion, it comes off more as a cream contour than as an actual true bronzer. And so for me, can I get use out of the product? Of course. Will I? Probably not. But I hate returning. I hate returning once I've already touched the product. I've clearly touched it. So that's that. But yeah, I definitely just would recommend this one, or even maybe mixing. I haven't tried mixing these, so maybe that will be what I will do, because like I said, I have the products and I do want to use them, but I just wish that there was a shade in between, like a 3.5. That would be perfect for me, but because there's not, I would just either use 3, which is just slightly more warm than my skin tone, or mix the two. So I'm gonna try to mix the two. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to do that before I edit this video, but if I don't, check out the pinned comment. I'm going to do my absolute best to leave a pinned comment letting you guys know whether the combination of the two is a viable option for getting kind of my perfect cream bronzer from this collection, because I do like the formula. The formula is beautiful. It blends beautifully. It applies beautifully. It was just the undertone. It was just the shade that was the problem. Even the undertones are fine. It was literally just the shade was just not a hair dark enough for me personally to really get the oomph that I want. So that's that. I feel like this was a very long video. I'm sorry to us all. Maybe next time I won't wait till I have an overflowing basket before I do this video. I have a couple more things to review or kind of test out on the back end, but my next kind of roundup will definitely be eyeshadow palettes. I've showcased a lot of eyeshadow palettes on my channel, and I've been trying to test them out in the background, and you know, it's going to take me some time. That will be the next kind of roundup that I will be doing. Tomorrow's video is going to be my 3 looks one palette with the In the Dark palette from Unearthly Cosmetics, and that is actually what's on my eyes today. This is look number 1. So in the event that you're interested in this tutorial or the other 2 looks, then yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But otherwise, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.